What is up, everybody? I'm Courtney,
I'm Sean.
and we are on the other side. Distracted by a crunch bar over here.
Yeah,
Let's wait for a few people to tune in, guys.
I can't get to it.
That you if you can't get to the crunch bar, you don't need the crunch bar. What is up, Cody?
Cody,
Have you
best dressed
seen?
hobo.
Look, have you seen Cody's new team logo? Did I show it to you?
Yes, it's dope.
That is dope as shit. I love it. I'm not gonna say your team name until like the announcement comes out, guys. But Cody, man, Cody and Robin, awesome people. But once they drop their team name, and if you want to drop it in the comments, you can. You guys need to go give them a follow. What's up, Daryl Paulette, Spirit of Clover Hill, and the historic Appomattox County Jail. Also, Bedford Paranormal. Why do I have the hiccups right now? I'm about to like crash out. We're going to add something to the background. I'm working on it. All right. Until then, guys, it's under wraps. But then you're going to hear me blast it out right here on the other side. Sean, I put your comment up on the screen. Are you serious?
I was trying to share it.
Sean over here trying to share the podcast and commenting in the podcast. The crunch bar got him distracted, y'all. He doesn't know what to do.
At least y'all know when I'm looking down, I really am trying to share it out.
I do have a good toilet seat repair guy, Shauna. That was embarrassing. Okay, we're not going to go there.
You sat on the toilet seat and broke it.
I did.
She was dropping one hell of a deuce, y'all.
I just had to pee.
No, I heard the explosion.
You are. Hey,
she sounded with kerplunk.
I am so done with you. That is not true. But
we felt the whole house shake.
I'm over here on a weight loss journey, guys, and the toilet seat is here to remind me to stay humble. Stay humble.
No, all that load you dropped there.
Stay humble. You are the grossest person on earth. Nobody just has these conversations but you. Ronnie Anderson, Bedford Paranormal. Guys, also, I want to put a plug in here because I think did the Browns make it to the Super Bowl? Don't let me find this out.
That went way over her head just now.
Oh, my bad. I was like really upset at this. I was like, what? All right. Embarrassing. I was definitely peeing, guys. For some reason, Sean has a weird childlike sense of humor we haven't figured out yet. Anyway, let me go right here. Guys, if you guys are not going to any Paracons this year, okay, there's two that you need to make it to. It is not an option, like need. It's not a want, it's a need. One is coming up in April. Okay, that's Enigma Cons. If you have not gotten your tickets, get them now. Secure them now. Fantastic guest speakers. Excellent team is hosting this con. Couldn't ask for anything better. Second one, June 19th through the 21st. So, well, technically June 20th. Is Creep It Real Festival in Evansburg, Pennsylvania. Head right on up to PA and come see yours truly at Creep It Real Festival. Fantastic celebrity lineup, guys. Excellent guest speakers. We literally have
Who's gonna be there?
A bunch of people. Don't put my skills to the test over here. I don't have the list in front of me. Okay, don't do that, guys. Go follow the page on
That's
Facebook.
Bad when I can name a few and you can't.
I can name a few, but I don't want to sound dumb either. Danielle and Shauna, owners of the Doss House, guys. If you guys are looking for somewhere to investigate, again, head right on up to Pennsylvania and go to the Doss House. That location doesn't disappoint. If you want actual paranormal research and a good investigation, go to the Doss House. 10 out of 10. Great prices, excellent check-in, check-out times. It's overnight investigation. Prices are low. Excellent hosts. This is Michael Brooks, Fredericksburg Paranormal. What's up, bruh? We've already got ours for Paracon. Creep It Real is next. Let's go. All right.
Big D.
Big D.
That's what they call Daryl.
Oh, yep, you're right. I normally do that at the end, but we'll go ahead and do it since Cody threw it out there.
Yeah, Cody hasn't plugged our investigation in yet.
So, guys, if you're looking for something to do around the Lynchburg, Virginia area, we are hosting Get or Don't Get Ghosted, or do we get ghosted? I don't know. Anyway, Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, grab your boo and head on over to the Sandusky house. Tickets are $35, I think. And proceeds go to the preservation of the historic Sandusky house. Kim Brady, Spirit Led. What is going on? Shonda Brooks, FPRI. Hi, honey. Long time no see. Need to get up this year. ASAP.
Don't run out of nowhere this year.
Look, you would have ran out if you was the one too. There'd have been a broken toilet for real. Come out and see the hobo scream. Yes, guys. Cody and Robin will be joining us at the historic Sandusky. So get your tickets. They're flying off the shelf, I guess, technically. I didn't have a really good punchline for that. That was lame. But I have a question for you. We're going to get onto this podcast. Okay. I got a question for you. Have you ever heard of the stone tape theory? Has anybody in the comments ever heard of the stone tape theory? I actually went down one of my 3 a.m. rabbit holes about the stone tape theory, and I forgot. I knew Howie's heard of the stone tape theory. Ronnie's heard of the stone tape theory. So I went down a rabbit hole because I had never heard of it. Somebody did a TikTok about it, and I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. That's literally what we say. Shauna's heard of it. Everybody's heard of it. You have not.
I have not.
You suck.
Yeah.
All right. So the stone tape theory, for those that don't know, aka Sean, suggests that basically a traumatic or an emotional event can be almost like imprinted or recorded into or onto certain materials, particularly stone. So like your quartz, your limestone, and then replayed later as a residual haunting.
I didn't know. I've heard of that, but I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yep. It's appearing as like ghostly visions or sounds.
What do we talk about that being, though? We talked about this before.
Residual
I didn't know the name of it was called stone tape theory, but we talked about that when we talked about the crystals in Gettysburg.
We did. And actually, that's funny that you say that because I'm going there.
We already talked.
You got it. Emotional events recorded on stone to be played back later.
I didn't know that somebody came up with a name for it. Cool.
So this actually dates back to 1972. It was popularized by, there's an actual horror film out there called The Stone Tape. Okay. It actually says that places with these materials, either in the ground or the building is made of them, act like recording devices. So they replay these past events under specific conditions. So this explains why some spots might seem haunted without any interactive ghosts, while popular in like our community, like the paranormal community, it's considered pseudoscience because it completely lacks any scientific evidence and any testability whatsoever. Though it does draw on ideas about like a place like memory. Okay. So the concept of it basically is you take an intense emotional event, death, passion, something like that. It imprints on the geological structure, the stone, the crystals, like you said, and then they're released and perceived as a residual haunting or a non-interactive echo of the past, like a movie or a tape. The favorited materials are quartz, limestone, and other crystalline rocks, as well as now they're saying wood and water. Okay. So playback occurs spontaneously, or it can be triggered by an environmental factor or by sensitive individuals. Howie said, yeah, you have, Sean. Remember last year I was talking about finding EVPs on that pottery that they had found those little marks on that plate over in Egypt.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Nobody's ever said the word stone tape theory, though. I get it. We talked about that, but I never knew there was a name for it.
Okay, so guys, let me know in the comments some examples of what you have either researched or learned or places that could correlate with the stone tape theory. Okay. What's up, Dr. Howie Odell? Nice to meet you, sir.
Doctor.
Nice to meet you. What?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
You never met him?
Never.
You literally saw him singing Garth Brooks.
Nice to see you is what I was trying to say.
Ago.
I can't talk tonight. Something's wrong with I'm having like a stroke. I don't know. All right. So theory, Cody said theory kind of goes that residual haunts come from stone taping. The sounds are recorded into surrounding rocks and buildings.
With Cody's theory, though, could that be what residual haunts are, though?
Well, no, that's what I'm trying to say. So that's not Cody's theory. That's
not his theory, but
tape theory.
Is that the theory of residual haunts, that these imprints that we see over and over are etched into something in the surroundings?
So they're perceived as a residual haunting by paranormal researchers. That's essentially what the definition is. But it is not a scientifically accepted theory because it cannot be tested or modeled without current technology or with current technology. I'm sorry.
Well, that's kind of a hypocritical statement, though.
So how so?
Because science doesn't even acknowledge the fact that paranormal exists.
This is true.
Science, according to science, there is no such thing as paranormal because it's not scientifically proven that paranormal is even real.
So the stone tape theory, I see what you're saying, but the stone tape theory is saying like you can't pull out any equipment at these locations that are affected by the stone tape theory. Like they will not react to any. It's literally just a loop recording etched in stone. Whether it's the quartz or, like I said, wood, water, limestone is a big one. Okay. Let's see. Cody said, I guess downtown Lynchburg's residual haunt can be considered that the sounds of horses and buggies that are reported near shoemakers. Yeah, technically, yes. And there is a lot of limestone in Virginia.
Yeah, the roads are still stone downtown.
Yeah.
In certain areas of Lynchburg.
And like if you go up, what is it, Madison Street? It's
either Madison or Monroe. I can't remember which one.
I think it's Madison still has like a lot of the cobblestone streets or whatever. So Trap Souls, what's going on, Trap Souls? If you guys don't give them a follow, head on over to their page. Excellent podcast.
Excellent show. I think it was with Terry recently.
We were on their show recently.
Yeah, he did one with Terry recently.
Oh, cool.
Too.
Cool. Terry, good people.
See, we watch you.
All right, so Howie said, check this out. This is interesting. What if you find a piece of wood that was used and created by Vikings back in the day? What if that thing projected out some form of residual energy? They're saying the stone tape theory can be etched now in wood and water. So
it goes back to trying to figure out how to put that. So I've got these rifles. And Howie, you've been to my living room. I turned my basement living room into a museum. And how we've seen it. Imagine the amount of energy that's in that wood in those World War II, the Civil War rifles, right?
Yep.
So we came home and my World War II M1 Garand or Garand, depends on where you got your education from. The bolt racked on its own. Now, if you've ever pulled back the bolt on an M1 Garand, it takes some energy. It takes a lot of force to pull that bolt back. It doesn't just rack on its own. And
it was flipped around.
And it's flipped, and the rifle itself was flipped around. That's a heavy rifle, and I can get it and show it to you if you want to see it. But it takes a lot of energy to pull that chamber back, and it did it on its own. I never leave any of my rifles. You can look at any rifle that I own; it's never left racked open because I don't want dust to get in it, especially in a rifle that's 80 years old. So I don't know how that happened. So with that theory of wood. Especially, how many soldiers held that gun? That gun's from 1943.
Right. And it's essentially an EVP. So, like, if it saw war, like actual battle.
Did you hear it rack while we were asleep?
I did wake up and heard a noise. And when you went over there, it was racked. I don't know if that's what the heck I heard.
All my rifles are faced one direction. I have every rifle strategically placed on my wall or in my cabinet. And this rifle was turned completely opposite of the rest of them.
Yeah.
So is that a case, how, if you're listening still, is that a case of the stone tape theory? Why did that rifle rack? I mean, even didn't one of my Civil War rifles, the hammer was cocked one time?
You've had a lot of interaction with your guns.
And they're all made of wood and iron.
Yeah.
Wood and iron.
So let me ask you guys this. How would recordings last for centuries? Like, wouldn't they overwrite?
No.
Or whatever?
No, because depending on the traumatic event, how much energy was going into that object at that period of time. If you think like my Civil War rifles, for example, don't you have activity in your house? A ton of it. But I have as much activity as I allow in the house. I kind of feel like in this house, we're in charge here. So
now, wasn't this around the time when we had that hitchhiker though?
Yeah.
We did bring home a hitchhiker, guys.
But I also feel like, so if you take those rifles that we have during the Civil War, can you imagine the emotion that a soldier would have had carrying those particular rifles? Even the World War II rifle that I had, could you imagine if that rifle was on Normandy?
What's up, Andrew?
Or if it was wherever it was, Germany, France, wherever it was, the emotion or the fighting that was going on with that rifle, how much energy at that particular time was being put into it versus the energy I have when I'm just on my back porch popping them off. Because I shoot every one of those rifles. I don't buy a rifle unless I can shoot it. So the energy I put into it, I'm just pulling a trigger or pouring powder down the barrel and shooting it. Those guys actually have feelings, emotions. Some of those rifles, they're marking off how many people they killed with it. So I don't think it can be overwritten because I'm not putting the same amount of energy into that particular object. Now, something that I carry with me every day or use every day, I might imprint my energy into that, or some of my energy might have went into that.
Yeah.
Or if that was a rifle that let's say we had a zombie apocalypse, and I picked up my rifle and was pouring powder in the barrel, popping up zombies.
Can you imagine 100 zombies?
Maybe.
Hold on, zombies. Let me pour some powder, ram it down, and hope I hit you.
If I get high up in a tree.
Oh my God. Can't zombies climb trees?
You know, with these new movies, zombies are running now. You know, when I was a kid, zombies walked real slow. They moved slow. They were weak.
They're on Adderall.
You know, nowadays, these zombies on crack. These jokers can run 90 miles an hour, jump way up in the air, and scream, and some talk to you.
Oh, my God. Lost Souls PI, what's up, you guys? Hey, check it out really quick.
Emily's always lying.
Emily and I were not lying this Saturday. I'll get to that in a second. Emily, Sean's been calling me a liar for days. But anyway, guys, Lost Souls PI just launched their new TikTok. If you guys are on TikTok, go give them a follow. Lost Souls PI, okay? Michelle Wilfong with the Haunted Apartment. You guys might have heard her chatting with Sean on Sunday. Excellent show. Guys, if you don't give her a follow, give her a follow. All right. So what's up, John Sullivan? SPRI.
The man himself.
So Howie said, here's another one for you. Talk about imprinting. This is for all of you. Everybody in the comments, okay? What if we're imprinting our own equipment? And in fact, if it's at that time, are we not projecting outwards and creating our own perception of residual energy?
We talked about that before.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's a good point, Howard. I think sometimes we can almost set off our own equipment with our own energy.
Well, we can. Look at the static meter. You cannot walk around. Anybody that has 360 or whatever, anybody that has one, don't walk around that with Crocs. I don't care if you're indoors or outdoors. Do not go near your static meter with Crocs. Your static meter will get set off. Crocs set off a static meter. I don't know what it is. Hey dudes, do not. So Ronnie, you're safe.
I don't wear hey dudes.
That's a lie. You have one in every color. All right. Ronnie said you and Ronnie can be hey dude besties.
That sounds so no.
All right.
Oh, look at this dot on my forehead.
What is it?
It's a zit that I popped.
You got a zit? You got a planet on your forehead? Don't pull the hat over it. You don't point it out and then try to hide it. I got Face cream. All right.
I got my bomb. My
So-
rosemary.
In the case of the rifle, you shout time and date stamp. If it was the stone tape, the bolt would rack same time, day, etc. If it's from the activity in the house, it would be random time and dates. That's why you just got blicked right in the face. Blick up by the dog.
I love dogs, y'all, but I don't let
You're
them
welcome, Em.
Are you serious? You just smacked
This
me
dog
in the face.
beating the heck out of him. Athena, go on. I'm trying to have a podcast. Goodbye. All right. Amy, hey. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Good seeing you. Look, Emily's singing to you.
Look out on how my
Emily, I'm going to get to Saturday, so I hope you stay in here. Oh, okay. All right. So if in the case of the rifle, you should keep track of the time and the date. It was randomly, it was one incident. Well, 2 incidents. It wasn't the same time every day.
Yeah, it happened twice. I didn't
Ryan.
jot that one down.
Freaking awesome paranormal show, Rift Nation Network. Guys, right after us, 9 p.m. Tune in to his show. Phenomenal people. Excellent topics. Here's another mutt over here. Where did you just come from? Apparently, we've got guest speakers. This guy. He knows all about the stone tape theory. Why? Because he looks like a stone.
He created it.
Yeah, let him tell it. He lies.
He's always lying.
All right.
He's lying right now.
So, guys, a few examples of stone tape theory. All right, really quick. You've got the Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. That is a specified example of the stone tape theory. Okay. Reports include a headless drummer boy who is said to appear when the castle is under threat, appearing as a repetitive visual recording. Then you have Bluebell Hill in England. Witnesses have reported hearing screams that are believed to be from a fatal car accident involving a young woman, and it replays as an auditory stone tape theory or auditory haunting. Then all of our favorite and the most popular Gettysburg battlefield. You got high concentrations of minerals in the ground. Sean has talked about this multiple times, guys. You want to go ahead and tell your theory for those that might not have heard it?
There are a lot of crystals in the ground. And before the Silver War.
The Silver War.
The Silver War, y'all. Not the Civil War, the Silver War. Before the Civil War, there was a Native American battle that happened there. And that's a war that nobody ever talks about. And the Native American War, before that battle, the Native Americans used to take the crystals and cut themselves with the crystals and bleed onto the crystal because they believed that their blood would regenerate them another life. So if they died on the battlefield, that they would pretty much respawn.
Create a respawn point.
Right there where they fell. So think about how many bloody crystals are in the ground in that battlefield. Everybody reverts back to the Civil War. Nobody talks about the reports of Native Americans they find on that same battlefield or around the town. Everybody always talks. That's why I believe half the stories people talk about with the soldiers are I don't believe that all of them are necessarily made up, but I do believe where it's a money-making business when it comes to Gettysburg. And trust me, I'm not trying to downplay it because I've had a lot of great experiences at Gettysburg, but nobody ever brings up the huge amounts of Native American stories from Gettysburg, which is shocking to me because that's a whole nother money-making side that they could thrive on. Everything is all Civil War, Civil War, Civil War, Civil War, Civil War. And it's a whole lot more to it than just that. And then I think that people would have even more success investigating Gettysburg if they focused on more than just the Civil War. More people died in Gettysburg than just Civil War soldiers.
I think it was because it was so popular and such a heavy bloodshed in Gettysburg that's what you capitalize on.
I think when you investigate, you should go in with an open mind and look for whatever wants to come speak to you. It's more death there than just. It's just like when we investigate at Rainsworth. I honestly don't think it has anything to do with anything Civil War related that we're investigating with.
No,
nothing. And it was a Civil War encampment. General Rhodes was documented to come through that area. His camp did. But I think everything there has nothing to do with the Silver War.
So Daryl said, isn't imprinting on something like a flash in time that will auto-repeat itself and become what we call residual? Essentially, yeah. That's exactly it. Chris Mendez with the Supernatural Untold Stories. Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? If you guys don't give him a follow, he's dropping new content constantly, guys. Head on over to the Signal Network and see his latest episode on there. I think his latest one is the theater, right? No.
He's got, yeah. So let me tell you, at least I can grow facial hair, Mendez. It's not as bad as it looks on camera. Actually, camera for some reason, Courtney has some kind of beauty face feature on here. It makes it look terrible.
Grand Time said I had to back the video up a few minutes, so I'm behind. But I adore your dogs. I would have got nothing done at Rainsworth if you would have brought them. You wouldn't have.
You are good, Grand Time. You are good.
They're good dogs. They're great dogs.
Listen here, Officer Tight Pants.
Oh,
we got Officer.
Sean, you have your own emoji.
We got Chris Mendez.
The eyebrows are even right.
Officer Tight Pants.
Wait a minute. This emoji even has your eyebrows, bro. What? And the glasses. That's crazy work.
Hey, if y'all haven't checked out Chris Mendez, aka Officer Tight Pants,
yeah, if you guys
check him out on the Signal Network.
Seen Reno 911, you've seen Chris Mendez.
Chris Mendez literally goes to work with the Daisy Duke shorts on, y'all. Check him out on the Signal Network. I will give Chris his props, though. I'm going to give him his flowers real quick before we continue to talk about him being Officer Tight Pants. I typically fall asleep during most paranormal investigation videos that are produced. But Mendez usually, his videos hold my attention, y'all. He's got some great content on the Signal Network. Go follow him. And
here goes Ronnie.
Supernatural Untold Tight Pants Stories.
Ronnie said, I've heard claims of Native American apparitions seen in Gettysburg. Oh.
Well, see, Ronnie, that's my point. You've heard about it. I've heard about it. How come they don't thrive on that?
Ronnie, I'm going to be honest.
Is Ronnie really going here again?
No, I am with Ronnie.
I know Ronnie sees Officer Tight Pants comments.
Well, they see him if I pop him up, but I know how Ronnie feels right now because you asked me to moderate your chat and I was going insane on 4 different platforms trying to keep up with different comments. I am working on getting a new platform, guys. 2026, we will get a new platform.
Yes, we're not going to be on StreamYard anymore.
I'm tired of this. This is asinine. Nobody puts Ronnie in the corner.
The only people who can't ever see the comments is Courtney and Ronnie.
Well, I guess we're just blacklisted then.
I see the comments just fine. Let me get on here. I'm going to look
all
now.
You can see is Daryl.
I like Daryl. Daryl never complains about nothing.
Daryl's a happy guy.
Hey, Chris, can you see the comments? Look, I see everybody. Supernatural Untold Stories. Michael Brooks is watching.
Okay, Chris can see
Ryan
comments.
Jones.
I'm going to use this for Sean's. Daryl's putting your emoji up for your caller ID.
Oh, yeah?
I'm no good. I am no more good, guys. It's Sean in an emoji. All right, guys. So Gettysburg. Gettysburg has high concentrations of minerals. Visitors have reported sounds of cannon fire, gunfire, battle cries, and they repeat without variation despite the absence of an interactive spirit. You just hear them. You're just standing there and you hear this stuff. Then you've got another one in North Dakota, Fort Totten. It was formerly an Indian school. Visitors have reported a heavy energy of suffering where the walls are said to have absorbed and preserved the despair of its past inhabitants. Then potentially one of the most famous ones from around the world, you have the Okiko doll in Japan. This is a unique object-based example of the stone tape theory, and this is going to lead me to my next question for you guys. Do you think that objects, not only the walls or the grounds, but objects can also be a part of the stone tape theory? If not, I'm about to inform you that that is not true. The Okiko doll in Japan is believed to have absorbed the residual energy of its deceased owner. It led to reported phenomena of growing hair and disembodied voices.
It grew hair?
Yes, it actually grew hair, like visible growth. Okay. And then I read into the Okiko doll. People were actually hearing the doll talk, but its mouth wasn't moving. And it was in the voice of the owner that passed away. The hair that the doll grew was the same color as the deceased owner. So, like, it had its little wig on that the doll had or whatever, and then it grew new hairs that were the same color as its deceased owner. And then, like I said, people would be in the room with this doll and they would literally be looking at the doll, and the doll would be talking in its owner's voice, but the mouth of the doll was not physically moving. Ronnie said it's all stone tape theory, it's all residual, like all of it. So, I was not versed in objects that were actually a part of the stone tape theory. I've only heard of it being structures or like land or places, not ever things. So I found that to be like super.
I don't know, man. That time I held that doll at the jail at Daryl's place, the Appomattox jail, that was interesting. Can't say that it was haunted or not, but people that were with me in the room can all agree that everything in that room, including all the energy, was very weird in that room that night.
When Danielle brought that doll down and handed it to you, it did get weird.
So I will say, I've never been one to
What's up, Luna?
I've never been one to really believe in haunted dolls. I will admit that. I even thought the Annabelle thing was kind of, yeah. But I will say, Danielle brought me a doll and carried it to me like she carried it to me like it was my kid or something. Like, Sean, take this baby.
Take my baby.
Why are you breaking me this baby? Hey, Luna. And I was like, why are you handing me this baby? So she handed me the doll.
It did love Sean.
And for some reason, I held the doll at first. Like,
no, you didn't. You stayed with it like 10
no, I
feet
didn't.
away.
I held it like a baby at first.
There you go, lying.
I held it like a baby at first.
Daryl.
And then it felt weird.
Daryl.
No, man.
Daryl, did he not grab this doll like this and talk to it?
Not at first. At first, I was comfortable with the doll, but then that dog played a trick on me, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh my God, the doll didn't. So it caused you to hold it.
Daryl, you're in here. Daryl, at first, wasn't I comfortable with the doll, and then all of a sudden, something changed with that damn doll. I was cool with the doll at first, and then the doll was messing with me.
Go lay down.
The doll was messing with me, made me feel uncomfortable, and then everything in the room changed.
Ronnie wants to know if it was a blow-up doll that smiled like a donut.
Well, if it was a blow-up doll,
you wouldn't have been holding it like this.
I would have excused myself.
Oh my God. We laugh, baby. We laugh,
baby. But no, seriously, that I never felt anything. I've held haunted dolls before, and I'm like, okay, this doll's heavy. This doll's different. Never felt a whole lot. Oh, this dog is acting weird.
Robert says, stop lying. Athena, please. I'm trying to have a podcast, Lord.
See, Courtney's mean to the dog.
That was your child and the guy who loved your tattoos.
All right, so yeah, let's tell this story about Chris and
here we go. Yep, back to the Okiko doll.
So Chris came to Lynchburg to hang out with us.
He did talk to it like a child.
AKA Officer Tight Pants.
Daryl said he stood way behind you.
Yeah, we're going to get back to that too, Daryl. Chris came to Lynchburg and was getting hit on by all these guys in the bar. Chris, I was trying to hook you up, man.
You were looking like that. That's why they were hitting on you. It's the eyebrows.
I don't know where Chris went. He disappeared with that guy. I don't know what happened. But Chris, I support you, brother.
Sean, you just in here lying tonight.
I don't know.
Just lying. Daryl doesn't do dolls.
Daryl, I don't know what happened. I was holding the doll. I felt comfortable for a second. And then all of a sudden, the doll was literally, I could hear a voice. I'm not going to say it was the doll because I don't know for sure what it was. Daryl was right there. You could even tell the difference in me when I was holding the doll. And I just had to put it down. Even all kind of equipment was going on. All kind of equipment was going on. This dog is acting weird. All kind of equipment was going on. It was weird. No, Chris, this dog was Chris, bring your ass back to Virginia. Chris is from New Jersey, y'all. Chris is like this. I don't know. Chris is weird, but he's from New Jersey.
Chris is weird.
He is weird. He wears these really tight pants for some reason. It's like leggings.
Yeah, all the cool kids are in one room, Ronnie. So if Mama D's with you guys, then you guys are the cool kids.
I didn't put Mama D in timeout.
Hybrid.
Chris, try to get Chris back to Virginia so we can go to the Daryl spot, the jail.
Yes, Chris, you need to come and check out the jail.
You need to come check out the jail. Just don't wear the tight pants this time.
Oh my gosh.
Chris, if you fart in them pants, you're going to take off towards the moon, man.
Oh my gosh. Lord have mercy.
Can you tell me and Chris are good buddies? Except for when he's out chasing that guy at the bar at Big Licks.
All right. So, back to the Okiko doll. Okay. The Okiko doll. Basically, it was a small child, had a terminal illness, ended up succumbing to her illness after her family bought her this doll. The doll was of Japanese origin, had like chin-like bob haircut and a kimono on, etc. They bought it. Her brother actually bought it for her. And she became very, very attached to this doll. She named it Okiku. She spent all of her final months clinging to this doll. This doll became her companion during her illness. It slept with her. And when she passed, she was holding... Come on now. You need a CPAP? You sound like an old man that smokes. All right. So shortly after she passed away, the family began to notice something very strange. The doll's hair, which was at chin length, began to grow inexplicably. All right. It only lengthened slightly, but as the weeks passed, the hair actually reached the doll's knees. They tried to cut it, but then they found that each time they cut it, it kept growing back. Okay. This was fueled, this phenomena fueled the belief that her soul continued to live within the doll. So the family then at that point began a ritual in which they cut her hair every month, hoping to keep her daughter's memory and peace alive. So World War II marked a turning point in Okiko's history when the conflict broke out. The family was forced to leave their home and feared for the fate of the doll and their daughter's ashes if they fell into the wrong hands. So they made the decision to take the urn and the doll to the Buddhist temple in search of a place where their spiritual and emotional value would be respected. And once in the temple, the monks took on the responsibility of caring for the doll, continued the ritual of cutting her hair, and over time they witnessed how the hair continued to grow, even under controlled climatic and environmental conditions, so much that they even published photographs of the doll sporting different hair lengths and hairdos. Word of mouth spread quickly, and she became the famous doll that holds the stone tape theory. But I highly recommend, if you guys have not heard about it, to watch the 1972 movie, The Stone Tape. That's what actually popularized the name of this theory, depicting researchers in a Victorian mansion that were trying to, quote unquote, decode a recording that was in the stone walls. Then you have T.C. Lethbridge, who was an archaeologist who proposed that water and mountains could store like almost psychic fields of energy, providing an early conceptual basis for the theory. And then we all know this famous film, The Poltergeist, and The Haunting of Hill House, where the house itself remembered or recorded the past. So those are some, pop culture things that you can reference when looking up the stone theory. Chris said he's wearing his cowboy hat to fit in. You
gotta get one first.
I don't think they did a DNA test on the doll's hair. I did not read that. Ronnie's calling bullshit on the doll. There are pictures all over the internet. Again, I know some really strange things come out of Japan. 1A, some of the best horror movies come out of Japan. 2B, you've got the Suicide Forest.
Sushi.
The Suicide Forest has an entity, I think, that's causing people to want to harm themselves. I don't think it's necessarily they go in. Or my other theory on that haunted forest in Japan is that maybe you go in and you get turned around and you almost like go insane trying to get your way out. But we knew somebody that took a trip to Japan, Pablo,
Yeah, whatever
in
happened to
search.
Pablo?
He has completely blown up, guys, on social media, but I'll tell you about that later. So he's now like a filmmaker and some more stuff, like big time. Like he's doing big things. I'm glad because he had quite the scare. He set out to yeah, it could be a serial killer. It could be, that's a theory. So but Pablo Cordova set out to Japan to explore said haunted forest. While he was there, he became deathly ill. He was put in a hospital. He was hospitalized for a month and a half in the ICU. They did not think that he was going to make it. His family flew out from Texas over to Japan because they essentially called his family and said, hey, he is not going to make it. Miraculously, he did make a turnaround. He came back home. And I believe he even went back to Japan like a couple months later because he did not understand why this happened to him. So, and this was sudden. We're talking young man in shape, good health, uh, suddenly just felt ill after going into the forest and near the forest. I don't think he ever stayed there. I don't think he made it that far. I think he kind of stayed on the outside and started doing some paranormal investigating and then just became like deathly ill. So, I've asked him multiple times to come back on our podcast so that we can kind of hear about it, but it's not really a topic that he wants to discuss. And I respect that. So that's one that I'll leave alone. So my question about like the haunted forest and things like that, could there be like courts or something in the ground that's causing this like chaos in this forest? Or do you think it's something as simple as a serial killer in the forest?
You know, I'm trying to think of a good answer for that. Of course, that topic is very sensitive to people. So, respectfully, I want to say this. I think it could be a place that people go to do that. I've never been and experienced this forest, but it's a famous forest. I think that there's people who do that stuff and go there to do that to add to the myth. There's people out there who's mentally unstable enough to do that. Some people believe that maybe the forest does possess that power. My thing is, if you, me as a sensible thinker, if I know this forest is known to make people want to do that, my ass gonna stay out of there. That's just
Right.
me. I'm not going in there. If I think if there's a forest that is known to kill and reportedly kill thousands of people, and thousands of people go in there, two or hundreds or even go in there and make them want to do that. John Elliott Jr. ain't going in there to do that. So I think the people who have gone in there to do that, it's like one of those things where people go in there who are wanting to in their life, they're going to do it epically. So their culture in Japan is different than ours. And the things they worship and the things they do. The Christian culture believes that's the ultimate sin that you can't repent. So
And in Japanese culture, if you feel defeated, what are you supposed to do?
take your life.
Take your own life.
Or you hand a sword to someone else and they take your life. So
Right.
I honestly, in my head, believe, in my opinion, y'all. She asked me. I don't think it's the forest doing it. I think it's people who have some mental issues and that's ready to take their life, and that's an epic way to go to add to the mystery of the forest. People in other countries worship different things. Some people may worship that forest and want to give the forest their mystery, and that's where they go to do it at. It might be an honor in that particular culture or cult or belief that they have to go do that. They might find their higher being or higher power in that forest. That's just my opinion.
So, this particular haunted forest is located at the base of Mount Fuji, and it's also known as the Sea of Trees. Okay. Local folklore says, and you playing Ghost of Tsushima says, how do you say it?
Yuri.
The Yuri. Okay. The spirits, also known as the Yuri, are what inhabit the forest. And then if you go in there, they take your life. But it's literally attracted so much widespread media and visitors, despite its reputation for tragedy. It's believed to be haunted by the Yuri or the ghost of those left to die. Okay. And it's linked to people going in there and actually unaliving themselves. So they have found in this forest so many discarded personal items. So that's why I asked, do you think at this point it's almost like an imprinting? If their energy is left in their personal items when they go out there to take their own life, or when they go out there and maybe the Yuri get them or whatever, could it be now at this point a branch off of the stone tape theory, where now there's just so much energy in that forest from all the tragedy that happened there that it's just replaying over and over again and making people go insane? Ronnie said, but everybody that goes into the forest doesn't commit suicide. So I agree with Sean.
Right. So
That's what I
meant with. I think there's a lot of energy in the forest because, again, like you said, because of all the energy that's left behind there. It's kind of like when you go into like a historical place. Think about, you go as a tourist to Thomas Jefferson's house, or when we went to Mount Vernon. There's a presence left in there. He lived there.
In his bedroom. It is very weird.
He had, some of his fondest memories there. So his energy is left behind there. I'm sure when you move into a new house, and it's a brand new house, it feels like a new house. But when you move into a house somebody just moved out of, you still feel something. It's like you don't feel like this is a new home. You can still feel the energy that people, especially if you're a paranormal investigator. If you're an investigator and you've done it for a long time, take guys like, let's see, Ronnie, Chris Mendez, those are the names I'm just seeing. Guys who do this a lot, have done it for a time, and where you thrive on what you feel, thrive on your eyes, thrive on senses. You go into places, you can just feel the energy. You ever walk into a bar and see the crowd and just something don't feel right? Then you leave and read on your Facebook, shooting at this bar or something happened. You're like, dang, something told me to leave. That energy, people project it all the time. The dead project the same thing. People's energy is left behind. So that forest that you're going into, you really, it's an imprint of all the stuff that's going on there. Them emotions. Think about how you got to feel to actually go through with taking your life. I mean, that's, to do that, to even go through with that. We've all felt very down and depressed in our life before, but yet we're still here. But think about the people who aren't still here.
What's up, Trish?
What was going through their mind to make them go through with that?
Yeah.
That's energy they left behind. So, and I'm not trying to bring up any sore subjects here. I'm just saying, for them to go through with it in that forest, it all that's left in there.
Unless there really is something in that forest that is making somebody go really
Hey, Trish.
crazy to the point where they feel like that's our only way out. Like, I can't get rid of whatever's following me, whatever. So I've watched several videos and things like that, where of people that have gone into the forest and, read several stories and urban legends and the whole nine. And 1A, it's called the Sea of Trees for a reason. When you get into somewhere where you think that you know your way in and know your way out, but you're not really versed with it, everything starts looking the same. So you think, okay, well, I came back, I'm just going to go back the way I came. But then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're like turned around and you're like, I swear I just came this way. And, so then you turn a different way. And now, like I said, before you know it, you're absolutely lost. Noises in the forest, footsteps, whether it's animals, the yote, or whatever, like it could be is making you literally go insane, and you feel like your only way out is unaliving yourself.
Well, imagine this, you're driving and you're lost. But think about back in the day before we had these fancy GPS things on our phones and cars. How did you feel taking a road trip and you got lost? Think about
I panic when I get lost with the GPS now, so I can only imagine.
right. So panic can set in and cause that if you're low mentally already or you're weak minded mentally, um, it could cause you to do other weak minded decisions. And I know it's suicide, unfortunately, is a very weak minded decision.
And that's where grand
And-
time set up here.
And I'm sorry if I offend anybody by saying that. I've had friends who've done that as well. But it is a weak minded decision to do that. And if you are panicking already, that could cause that. People go into the woods is a very scary place for some people. There are people who literally have a fear of going into the woods. So if you are one of those people who are already on it, now me, I love the woods. I'm at home in the woods.
I don't like the woods at night, guys, because I feel
the
like
woods is a scary place at night. Imagine hearing all the animals who roam at night, and you don't know what the hell it is. Now, even me, somebody who's comfortable in the woods at night, because remember, I used to be in the woods at night for no good reasons, and even me at night, who's comfortable in the woods, who my eyes will even adjust to the woods at night, and I can see pretty well at night in the woods. When I hear something, I don't know what the hell that Fisher cat was. It sounds like a human being dying. I'm even on edge. Like, what is that? I'm reaching for my cordless hole puncher every chance I get.
I was fearless until this last year, and knowledge of the woulda couldas was brought to my attention. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, in my mind, a mountain lion is about to maul me at night. But that leads me to this past Saturday before we run out of time. Speaking of the woods, guys, this past Saturday, Lost Souls invited us. Well, we kind of invited ourselves. It doesn't matter how we got there, but we collaborated with Lost Souls PI.
We invited ourselves. They said they was going somewhere, and we said
we're going. Coming. We pulled up. All right.
Be there in a minute.
So we met up with Lost Souls PI at the Oak Grove Cemetery in Lexington, Virginia, and then we went for a nice double date at Applebee's, because there's nowhere else to go but Applebee's. So
that's that country.
Then we get this brilliant idea to go investigate Poorhouse Road Tunnel. For those of you that don't know about Poorhouse Road Tunnel, it is, according to Google, and I understand Google says everywhere is the most haunted place in America, but according to Google, it is the most haunted tunnel in America. Documented that there were 2 children playing in the woods. A man came and shot and killed them. And then there was an older woman that was brought out there, S-A'd. I don't know if I could say that on YouTube, guys. So S-A'd and murdered out there, and then hung from the tunnel. So how this correlates into the stone tape theory. Thanks, Grand Time.
Thank you. That means a lot.
We had a good time with them. We had a good time.
We had a really good time. Grand Time is a good name for her.
Yes, we had a grand time.
We had a grand time.
All right. So with that being said, the reason why this correlates into the stone tape theory, and I wanted to kind of lean up to this, guys, is because those are the documented murders that happened there, but there is rumored to be numerous lynchings that happened around there during the time when the B&O Railroad was being built. And after, it kind of is a sundown town. Like, when you get on that road, you kind of have that, like, I really need to be aware of my surroundings. Straight up,
they was all happy and smiling, talking to everybody. When they saw me standing there, they was like, we gonna keep moving now. We gonna get on down the road.
So, with that being said, to kind of summarize, we're out there. First impression, Poorhouse Tunnel, I'm petrified. We're out there. It's dark. There's woods. There's a creek running, which is ruining my senses. Okay. The creek running was actually legitimately ruining my senses because I could not hear anything other than the creek running. And when you're in a dark location, especially surrounded by woods, you need to be able to hear. So that kind of put me on edge as is. But there was one point in the investigation, and I was asked multiple times by people to post the entire live feed on our YouTube, and I did. If you guys do not follow our YouTube, it is at Hill City Ghosts or Hill City Paranormal. If you just type it in, you will find us. Our logo's up there. The entire live feed is there. Between 20 and about 50 minutes is where you guys want to go. I'm not going to torture you guys and make you watch an hour and 36-minute live investigation. But there was one point when me and Emily were standing in the middle of the tunnel, and I know Emily's here in the comments. We're standing in the middle of the tunnel, and we both heard female voices coming from the end of the tunnel. I remember looking at Emily and saying, "Did you hear that?" And she said, "I hear that." Then she looked and she said, "What the heck was that? I just saw a white figure walk from the right to the left-hand side of the end of the tunnel." So I said, "Well, let's go down there and see what it is." There was a solid sheet of ice, and I'm painting the picture so you guys understand. There was a solid sheet of ice at the end of the tunnel. So walking, we had to be cautious because who investigates in UGG boots? Me. I don't know why. I knew I was going to a haunted tunnel. Was not prepared. Did not care, I guess. I was worried about keeping my feet warm. So Emily gets to the end of the tunnel. I get distracted by graffiti that's on the wall. I brought a UV light. Right when I hear that there was multiple murders in one location, I'm grabbing the officer tight pants UV light. Okay. I want to find all of the true crime evidence here.
Mendez light.
So, who goes out to a haunted tunnel with no flashlight? All four of us.
I had one. It was in the car.
Okay.
Oh man.
So, the only thing I had was my UV light, and certain graffiti would illuminate with this UV light. So Emily gets to the end of the tunnel, and I hear her say, "What the hell is that?" And I quote that. I shine my UV light at the wall, and the name Yaya is on the wall. So me having the sense of humor I am and absolutely no sense, I say to her, "Oh, I guess it must be Yaya." All right. Just as this moment happens, she's silent, and I'm still staring at the wall, and I say, "What is it, Emily?" And she's not responding to me. So I turn and I look. She's got her cell phone like this, pointing up to the hill with her cell phone flashlight on, and she's pointing like this. So I say, "Well, what is it?" And I try to, Trish, I've got them on deck. I am ready. But yes, we will be there. And we've told everybody that's going, they need mug boots and some more stuff. But so I'm trying to get over there without busting my ass on the ice. I finally get over there to Emily, and I'm asking her, "What are you seeing?" And she's really not responding to me. So my dumbass goes and looks. I would have been okay not looking, but I look up, and what I saw is something that I've never seen in 16 years of investigating. Okay. Yes, it was a Blair Witch moment. 10 out of 10. And Emily's right here. Okay, guys. So she can corroborate all this.
Emily's lying.
So, long story short, I will tell you guys, I'll put myself out there. This is my first time putting it publicly. I've only told a handful of people.
You got this.
Okay. Do you believe in me? All right.
I believe in you.
So I look over, guys, and there is a small child standing on this hill and very distinct pink dress. Sean's laughing at me right now. You know, this is why I don't tell Sean shit.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But seriously, she was standing, and again, I've got to paint this for you guys. She had her hands on the ground and her feet on the ground, almost like you would scurry up a hill, or an animal would climb up the hill. And I thought I had froze for a long moment, but apparently my human side came out, because when I saw it, and playing back the live, I saw it and I immediately said, "Hell nah," and got out of there. But when I tell you guys, I panned my UV light on this child apparition or whatever it was, I don't know, but it snapped its neck in like a really inhuman way, so to speak. And the other distinct feature that I remember is she had no eyes. Okay, it was like hollow. I don't know if she didn't have eyes, guys, or I don't know if we just didn't have a bright enough light, but I remember the pink dress and she had hollow eyes. And Emily said, "What the hell is this?" And I said, "What the fuck is this?" And then I both said, "We got to go." And we got out of there as quickly as we possibly could without, again, busting our ass on the ice. So I felt like we ran the hell out of there, but going back on the live, we were moving very slowly for two people that were scared. But it was, like Emily said, absolutely wild. I went down 10 million rabbit holes about the black-eyed children, about what it was. I still don't know. I really honestly felt schizophrenic for like a week because I'm like, did I really just see that? Me and Emily, I know, asked each other for multiple times, did we really just see that? And the crazy thing is we heard the female voices. She saw what appeared to be a white figure run over to that side, and then we both saw this child figure snap its neck. Again, I went down every rabbit hole I could have. The black-eyed children, skinwalkers, I don't know. Howie and Emily, I need to call you about this, called me with a really good theory that I want to run by you, and I forgot to run it by you because I've been super busy, but it made sense. I'm not going to put that out there because it's more personal to Emily, but I thought it was a really good theory. And what's up, Vincent? I haven't seen you folks since Gettysburg.
What's up, Vince?
Gettysburg. Why do you run? Why do I run? I run because my other side tells me I'm not going to survive a horror movie. That's why I run.
Left me standing there, Ronnie.
Okay,
I
left
there. I had no flashlight,
Didn't
no
care.
phone. All I had was a body cam. It would have been like the Blair Witch for real. They would
You on your own.
They would have found my body cam just laying there. I was just standing there like, where y'all going?
We got out of there as quickly as we could.
They just left me.
Emily said, "I'm now scared of kids." Emily, I've looked at a couple of them and thought I should kick you in your face.
Ronnie, I was just standing there like, what are y'all looking at? I didn't have my glasses on. Like, what are y'all looking at?
So my fight or flight, 10 out of 10,
just left
like kicked in on this one. So Ronnie's clowning me right now. You need a new hobby if you run or you're scared. You can't learn about the paranormal if you run from it.
Right.
I love that, Ronnie. But here's the thing. I didn't think that thing was human. Okay. I don't know what it was. In my mind, I was the ring. Okay. The ring. Okay. So I did not scream. And Daryl, I did not scream. I just literally said, we got to go. So Emily.
Sean didn't run.
Sean, you didn't know what was going on.
I knew.
See, you guys are clowning people. I knew
exactly what was going on.
Ronnie, I'm glad you would have stayed with Sean. Y'all could have been mauled by the little psycho kid on the hill.
I would have picked the kid up and punted it like a football.
Okay.
Poof.
All right.
It would have been a field goal.
Y'all say that until you actually see what me and Emily saw.
I would have looked like.
And I really questioned or not. I was going to even bring this up on the podcast because I knew these kind of responses were going to come up. Okay.
Are you in your feelings?
I actually am not in my feelings. I knew I was prepared. So, I don't want to know what it is. That's the thing, Ronnie. I did not want to know what it was. I don't care. I don't care what it was. So Robert was on our live. We even tried to get Sean to slip on the ice at the end of the live.
Didn't work. Y'all tried to scare me with the horn and everything. Didn't work. But I will say this. And your
Daryl, no, you would not have. You're scared of dolls, Daryl.
And your defense, all right?
Trying to tell you, Grand Time.
In your defense, I'll say this. I personally wouldn't have ran because I'm an OG. Okay?
I didn't run anywhere. There was ice.
I'm an OG. You know,
I just walked.
Back in my day, we didn't even run from the cops, baby. But.
Oh, the comments I can make. Go ahead.
But. Oh yeah. Now that I'm old, yeah, no, I don't get in trouble no more. But here's what I'll say. Y'all remember last week, or was it the week before, where I posed the question as an investigator? You do not know what you're communicating with, and then you do not know what's really out there. And I posed the question. this very show and said, what if you asked the question and you got what you were looking for? What would you do? We can all theoretically say we're looking for that apparition. We're looking for that voice to really come through. But you really don't know how you're going to react when it really happens. So what I will say is that if you're investigating and you actually see what you're talking to, you really don't know how you're going to react. We all say, I saw A, B, C, and D, but when you're standing there and it's right in front of you, you really don't know how you're going to react. And because we don't ever expect to see it or hear it. You know, if you're in a room, in a dark room, and a voice as loud as that person standing next to you yells in your ear, you really, truly don't know how you're going to react to it. Your mind and everything in you says, I would stand there and face it. But your body could react different. It's kind of like when I've been in situations with, let's go back to the military or to a police officer. Your training teaches you to stand and fight. Your training teaches you how to react towards gunfire. Your training teaches you all this stuff. But I've seen people, as soon as a bullet flies, they get on the ground and cry for their mother. And I'm not making fun of those people. But I've seen people react that way, even though they've been fully trained and fully prepared. And I'm talking men stronger than me. I've seen people react that way. So what I will say is, yes, I laugh at Courtney when she ran. However, I also do understand the fact that we also don't know what we're talking to, y'all. We don't know what we're dealing with. Your body reacting to something and what we say we're going to react to are two completely different things. But I will say I ain't running, y'all.
And that's why I kind of put myself out here, guys, because let me tell you, if I had turned that corner and saw a small child maybe sitting on the ground, kind of crying or maybe looking vulnerable, I might have. When I tell you this thing was not human. Okay. And as a matter of fact, I've got on our live towards the end, me and Emily are having a conversation and she actually says those exact words. Whatever it was not human. I watch way too many horror movies, guys. The way this thing was moving was very erratic. The snap of the neck is really what got me. And then the eyes. It had no eyes.
These eyes.
I don't know what the hell. No, I'm not going there. I'm going more towards Skinwalker, be honest with you, Ronnie.
Skinwalker.
Really, honestly, I don't know. It was animalistic. That's all I know. It was very bizarre. It was very bizarre.
I don't think there's such thing as a Skinwalker. Okay. I said it out loud. It was Skinwalker. It could have been an apparition.
Are you done?
That did not know how to function as
with no eyes.
Yeah, we don't know how an apparition appears.
Okay. With that being said,
do we know how an apparition appears?
No,
we don't. So, could you?
I am literally being ridiculed.
By who?
You and everybody else.
How did I ridicule you?
You've been calling. Where'd that voice come from? What just happened?
How did I ridicule you?
Grand Time said I always react by taking off if it's bad enough. If I had a bad, eerie feeling, I'm out. All four of us girls are like that.
Oh, we know Grand Time.
Y'all scream.
I got a whole video, y'all.
Well, that's true. Daryl said he saw the doppelganger of a beagle that we have, and he liked to have crapped himself. Daryl, if I see a doppelganger on one of my dogs, I'm with you, bro. Yeah, I'm going to be like, what?
I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't believe in skinwalkers. So, I think all that stuff is make-believe. But not saying it doesn't really exist. I'm saying I don't believe in it. I personally don't. But, which I think you saw.
I don't know what the fuck I saw.
Was something that either A.
I don't even know if I saw it. Like at this point, I'm tripping.
Could have been a D word.
I don't know. I don't care. I had to go.
Howie brought up a good point when you brought it to his attention. He said it could have been the thing that
I didn't put that out there.
That encouraged the person to commit the crimes that he created.
Yeah, he did say that.
That was a great theory. That's what keeps us investigating. And hell yeah, Michelle, we going back.
And
we're going back when it's warm.
I actually was just about to say that, Michelle. Yes, even though I did take off, I took off, and then after going down my rabbit hole, I have to go back. I have to go back because I want to know what is there. So yes, in the moment,
when it's warm,
I panic. I guess that fight or flight that we as humans all have set in.
I'm glad you said
but
that. That's your body reacting.
I absolutely got in the car and was almost about to turn my vehicle around and go back that night.
No, you won't either. It's cold.
But it was cold.
I was about to
It was freezing.
You wouldn't be getting out by yourself.
There were icicles like hanging from the top of the tunnel. So yes, the answer is we are going back. And Emily is going back with us. So
let me give my props. I got to give a serious shout out real quick to Emily. So Emily has been going to this place
since she was a child.
Since she was a child. And hold on.
And she's always been too scared to even go into the tunnel. As a matter of fact, when her husband drove through the tunnel coming back from Gettysburg recently, her head was in her hands and she could not even look.
Yeah,
okay.
She couldn't even, when we first got there, Emily pretty much stood by me outside the tunnel the entire time. And all of a sudden, we just walked in there like it was nothing.
Yeah,
Emily literally faced a childhood fear that she's had for a long time now. I don't know how, and even at dinner, Emily was nervous. She had talked about that she didn't want to go in there, but she had to. It's something that she felt within herself. So I watched a friend. I consider Emily a friend, which I don't have many of, y'all. I don't have many friends. And I considered Emily a friend. We talk outside of paranormal. And I can, to watch her face that fear, stick with it, and overcome it. My hats off to you, Emily. It was a great thing to see you do. Emily was very careful. Emily has had a prior attachment. Emily knew when to exit the tunnel. I watched her exit the tunnel many times when she felt overwhelmed. She went back in there when she felt comfortable, and she stuck it out. She was right there with us the whole time. So I give her a lot of shit, y'all. That's because she's a friend of ours. I give Emily so much shit, but she was very brave, and to see that, kudos to you, Emily, and I mean that. Now, back to everything else.
Ronnie said,
I ain't going back until it's at least 60 degrees outside.
Sean is correct about what we don't know what we're dealing with. And I think, honestly, I want to touch on that for a second because I know we're running out of time. But that is exactly what happened. I wasn't sure what I saw. And I'm not saying who. I'm saying what. Because of the way it was moving, because of the way that it looked. Again, the only two distinct features I remember is her pale pink dress and her sunken eyes and the way that she snapped that neck. And like I said, guys, I watch way too many horror movies. So in my mind, this thing was about to literally jump off of the top of the tunnel or the side of the tunnel and like scurry and like claw my eyes out.
You should have caught it and then punted it like a football.
Like I said, all the things that went through my head right then and there, I wasn't sure what I was dealing with. I can talk to what I'm comfortable with. I can talk to what I know. And I can deal with what I know, but if I'm not versed in what I I don't know what she was doing. So, I don't know what I was dealing with out there. I don't know what me and Emily were dealing with, but I did also, like Sean said, immediately all the things that flashed through my mind, I was like, this thing's about to like maul me to death. And then I was like, shit, Emily. I got to get Emily out of here because Emily has had a prior attachment. And so that's where you hear me say, like, Emily, we got to go. And, if she was not hot on my trail, I would have probably snatched her by her coat and she'd been dragging her through the ice. Like, we got to go. So I'm glad that I experienced that and somebody else experienced it too, because I do have a lot of questions now and I will be going back to get some of those questions answered. But now I'm better prepared. I think the other thing that happened was I wasn't expecting to see anything. So I really thought that like Emily maybe saw like an animal or something. And when I rounded that corner, maybe I was going to see like some weird animal eyes or something. I wasn't expecting to see a full-bodied apparition. And for those of you that are wondering, I've done this for 16 years, and that is my very first full-bodied apparition I have ever seen. I've seen shadow figures. I've seen...
You saw the man in the kitchen at Gettysburg.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's a second full-bodied apparition. But the man in the kitchen at Gettysburg was full-on human. Like, it wasn't... I didn't get scared. I remember in Gettysburg... I forgot about that guy. I remember in Gettysburg, my heart got to racing and things like that. But I remember, like, just standing there and looking at him because it was like me looking at y'all or me looking at Sean, like he was real. This thing was not real. I don't know what it was. You know that woman on the plane going, he's not real. That's really what I was about to start doing. Okay. So I hope she feels safe with us grand time. And if she was twerking, and if I go back and find out that she just wanted some music, I got you.
Shake it like a salt shaker.
I will turn on some Yin Yang Twins for this child. All right. I'm just giving you a hard time. I know, Ronnie. I know. All right. So how did Emily rid herself of the attachment? She, before I wrap it up very briefly, and Emily, correct me if I'm wrong.
Holy water.
She, not that holy water. She took a lot of Epsom salt baths. She did go into a brief bit of isolation. She had a lot of outside help, with cleansing and things like that, and a lot of prayer.
Which I will be making.
So, but if you guys are interested in any form of protection salts or oils, you can hit up
your boy
Sean, who now makes protection black salt and oil.
Why it's gotta be black?
Oils. I can say for 100% fact that all of the oil or all of the salt has been prayed over and 100% packaged purely because I helped, and it was done with nothing but love and protection at heart. So with that being said, guys, Daryl said great podcast. Daryl, we love y'all. Emily, we love you. Emily's my cousin, y'all. My cousin from another family, but she's my cousin. But February 13th, guys, historic Sandusky House. Tickets are on sale now. Events on our page. And next Tuesday.
Please share it out, by the way.
Yes,
we are trying to preserve that place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And tickets are low, guys. And you get to hang out with us. We're cool people.
Yeah, we keep our ticket prices low. So. Trying to be different here. Low, affordable. You get a good amount of time to investigate. And we did get a full body shadow figure there.
You did, yeah.
And Chris Mendez, we give Officer Tight Pants hell, but he actually got a full body apparition on camera walking through the house. So yes. The place does have documented activity. Howie Odell came and investigated it and got a ton of activity. So it's a pretty good spot so far. So please get your tickets. If not, it costs nothing to share it on your page. Thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in. Without y'all, we wouldn't have a show.
And next Tuesday, live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have on our show the Blue Bodie. So if you guys don't know who she is, go look her up. She's infamously known for her warrior Reiki and healing traits. So tune in next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we go live every Sunday on TikTok or in the afternoon. I'm not giving a time. I said I'm not giving a time anymore.
Who are we praying for, Ronnie? We will definitely pray for your
team. Absolutely. Send us a message. Please.
Let me know who we're praying for, and I got you. Right after the show. Or call me. Either one.
Yeah, guys, definitely take a moment to say some prayers for the team member of Bedford Paranormal. Whatever's going on.
Pray
God knows what's going on.
Everybody can use prayer.
And prayers for all of you guys. Everybody be safe. I do know a Grand Time just said there's an upcoming snowstorm. Everybody be safe. I know the news is putting a lot of hype into it, calling it a catastrophic event. But if anybody needs anything, I wish I would have known that before I sent her a message, because now I feel like a whole dumbass, Ronnie. So yes, if everybody could please say a prayer for Angie. We definitely.
I didn't know he was in here. Shout out
Yeah,
Corey
Corey,
Akers.
what's up?
Corey Akers is a brother of mine from the music biz and from middle school.
Yeah,
Shout out to his band Loud. If y'all like rock music, check them out.
that's right. But until next Tuesday, guys, I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean.
And we'll see you on the other side.